Welcome to English Easy Hub. Join us as we ignite the flames of your English learning journey together.
Please subscribe to watch and embark on your English learning journey. Don't miss out on the exciting content. In this in-depth conversation, Simon approaches his professor with concerns about whether excessive grammar study might hinder his ability to speak English fluently. The dialogue explores the balance between grammar knowledge and practical application, delving into strategies like immersion, shadowing, and creative exercises. The professor emphasizes the importance of integrating grammar into a holistic language learning approach while keeping the process engaging and motivating.
Hello, Professor. I've been reading about language learning, and something caught my attention: the idea that studying too much grammar can hinder your ability to speak English fluently. What's your take on that?
That's an intriguing topic, Simon. It's a common concern among language learners. The problem isn't grammar itself, but how it's approached. Overloading yourself with rules without sufficient practice in real communication can create a disconnect between knowledge and use. Speaking becomes robotic, as if you're assembling sentences piece by piece.
So should I focus less on grammar and more on speaking practice?
It's not about abandoning grammar, but integrating it effectively. Think of grammar as the skeleton of the language, while speaking is the flesh and movement. A strong skeleton is essential, but it shouldn't be your sole focus. Blend grammar learning with speaking, listening, and other skills to create a well-rounded approach.
That makes sense. But I often find myself second-guessing during conversations. I'm thinking, is this the right tense? Is my sentence structured correctly? How can I overcome that?
Overthinking is a natural phase in learning. To counter it, immerse yourself in extensive listening and speaking. Let me ask, do you watch English movies or listen to podcasts?
Yes, I do, but I often focus on understanding the meaning rather than paying attention to grammar.
That's a good start. Now take it a step further. While watching or listening, pick out grammatical structures and context. Notice how speakers use tenses, conditionals, or modals naturally. Over time, this will help you internalize grammar. Remember, context is a more powerful teacher than isolated rules.
Okay, but when I try to apply these structures in my speaking, I still struggle. I know the rules, but they don't come out naturally.
That's because knowledge and application require practice. Have you tried shadowing?
Shadowing? What's that?
It's a technique where you listen to a speaker and repeat what they say in real time, mimicking their tone, rhythm, and grammar. It's like karaoke for language learners. This trains your brain to think in English patterns and enhances both grammar and fluency.
That sounds interesting. I'll give it a try. But what about when I don't have anyone to correct me? How do I know I'm not reinforcing bad habits?
Self-awareness is key. Record yourself speaking and listen to the playback. You'll catch many of your errors this way. Additionally, compare your sentences with native examples from trusted sources like language apps or textbooks. Feedback from a teacher or speaking partner is invaluable, but self-correction can take you far.
I've recorded myself a few times, but it feels awkward. Is it really effective?
It might feel awkward at first, but it's incredibly effective. Think of it as watching a replay of a sports match. You can analyze your strengths and areas for improvement. The goal isn't perfection, but progress.
That's encouraging. Speaking of progress, how can I measure it? Sometimes, it feels like I'm not improving, even though I'm studying hard.
Progress in language learning is often subtle and cumulative. Set specific, measurable goals, like mastering a particular grammar point or holding a 5-minute conversation without hesitating. Also, Track your achievements, no matter how small. For example, notice when you use a complex tense without thinking or when someone understands you perfectly.
That's a great idea. But I've noticed that native speakers don't always follow grammar rules. Should I emulate them?
Excellent observation. Native speakers often bend grammar rules in informal settings, using slang, incomplete sentences, or regional expressions. It's fine to learn these patterns, but make sure your foundation is strong first. Mastering standard grammar gives you flexibility and credibility in both casual and formal contexts.
Got it. What about grammar drills? Are they still useful, or should I focus entirely on practical usage?
Grammar drills have their place, especially for beginners or when learning specific rules. However, they should never replace practical usage. Use drills to build familiarity with patterns, then apply those patterns in real conversations, writing, or speaking exercises.
What about reading? Can it help improve my grammar?
Absolutely. Reading exposes you to a wide variety of grammar structures and context. Choose materials that interest you, whether it's novels, articles, or blogs. Pay attention to sentence construction and punctuation. If you encounter a sentence that puzzles you, analyze it and try to replicate it in your own writing or speech.
You mentioned earlier about motivation. Sometimes, studying grammar feels monotonous. How can I keep it engaging?
Spice up your study routine with variety. Combine traditional exercises with creative activities like storytelling, role-playing, or games. For example, create a story using only past tense or narrate your day using modal verbs. Personalizing your learning makes it more enjoyable and memorable.
That sounds fun. Speaking of creativity, do you have any other unique techniques for mastering grammar?
One technique is grammar scavenger hunts. Choose a grammar point, say, conditional sentences, and search for real-life examples in songs, movies, or advertisements. You'll be surprised how often grammar appears in unexpected places. It's like solving a puzzle and learning at the same time.
I love that idea. I'll try it. Do you have any final advice for me as I continue this journey?
Remember, Simon, language learning isn't a race. Embrace the process, celebrate your progress, and don't fear mistakes. They're stepping stones to mastery. Keep your curiosity alive, and you'll achieve fluency sooner than you think.
This dialogue highlights that grammar serves as a foundational tool rather than an obstacle in language learning. The professor provides actionable strategies for making grammar intuitive, such as shadowing, self-recording, and leveraging context through reading and listening. The core message is clear: balance is key. By blending grammar study with practical speaking, learners like Simon can build both fluency and accuracy while maintaining their motivation and confidence. Mistakes are not setbacks but opportunities for growth, making the journey to mastery both achievable and rewarding.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share to keep the English learning journey alive.